many things happen to us. One is anxiety is the biggest. First, fear, anxiety. And there are many times, many of us are also experiencing depression like symptoms. And also, there are quite a few reports that we have of compulsive behavior, which I'll keep explaining all what these are. So, while this is there, the other part is we have increased amount of violence on the domestic front. So domestic violence has increased considerably, and Telangana police have reached out. And with the greatest of pleasure, I want to tell you that our Kshemam volunteers, all our psychologists, counselors who are there, who have been working with us, are a part of Telangana police now. They are offering their service to Telangana police for domestic violence victims over online counseling. So this is where we are. Any questions, anything you would like to ask, please start from there, because this is not one way stream at all. I want you to ask me some things, and then I will be able to take it forward in a much, much better way.
Madam.
Yes, please.
My mother, she's around 75 years old.
Kiran, I'm not able to hear. I think Arvind sir.
Arvind ji, we are not able to hear you.
Yeah.
Now is it clear?
No.
Hello? Now is it clear, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's like this. My mother, she's around 75 years old. And because of this quarantine warning, we are not taking her outside. Otherwise, she was regularly used to going somewhere outside to some temple or some. One day, a day outing was always there with her, and seeing the same kind of people inside the house, not even the colony, we are not suggesting her to go outside. So of late, like last 4-5 days, she is behaving very differently, and she is feeling very weak, sweating, and mentally also she is very low. So this particular thing, anything you can suggest or help in this particular matter, madam?
Yeah, sure. So just like all of us, the elderly people have a much more difficult time right now, actually, because their only entertainment, as Arvind Saab was saying, is maybe just going out for a short while, seeing the world outside. But right now, even that is stopped. So their loneliness increases, and their fear that maybe life will continue to be like this will start getting to them. They start feeling depressed. So one of the things that you can do with the elderly is engaging them in talking about things that they have done way back, like childhood mein kya karte the, all the interesting things which they have as a memory bank. The good experience memory bank is what we need to take them to, so that they start feeling comforted that actually they once had energy, they had good life, they were able to go around everywhere. Because this concept that, see, as such with old age, there is a bit of uncertainty in their life anyway. Now, with the presence of COVID situation, uncertainty is there for all of us. So for the elderly, it is much more. And the fear that if I fall sick, what will happen to me? So all these things could be playing on her mind. So one of the things, as I said, is to allow her to talk about some interesting things that she would have done, or tell her to teach you some skills she would have had. Maybe she knows how to knit. So any one of you can, maybe the youngsters can say, Acha, how did you do? How did you learn to do it? So somehow, see, engaging them to remember keeps them very motivated. Somehow they already start being in the mental state that they were in at that time. So that is one of the things we can do, sir. And just because she's not going out, don't allow her to stay in the same room. she has to walk around in the house because walking is very, very, very important. They have to have some amount of physical exercise. So I'm sure as family, you must be doing everything, but these are small little things that will help them.
One small thing, madam, here. She's like last 4 5 days we are seeing she's sweating a lot in the night and she's not getting sleep, but restlessness is there.
So one of the things is we'll also have to rule out some basic medical things, whether her BP, sugar and all are normal or not. So those things we'll do one thing, sir, Kedia sir. I'll speak to you again. You please reach out to me. I will also try to speak to your mother if she is willing to talk. Then we'll see how it goes. Is that fine, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Any other questions? So as we have noticed now, when elderly go through these kind of difficulties, a regular person who's been working hard every day, getting up early in the morning, getting dressed, going out, working hard, coming back home, this hard set routine now is completely disrupted. And that affects all of us. And what it does is that same thing that an elderly person is experiencing, we are also experiencing actually, because we are not really leading the life that we have led before. Somehow there is a big change, and this change is the most difficult thing. We do find it very difficult to accept change. Always, as a human being, change is the most difficult. That's the reason for us to learn new habits is difficult. For me to have this conversation with you online at some stage must have been a difficulty, because I am used to talking to people in person, right? So, but one of the things that we all can do, sir, is, I mean, all of us here, let us also look at this situation not as something that is bringing us only fear, anxiety, worry, depression, but I think we need to also look at this as a challenge and also as an opportunity. I will explain to you why this is a challenge in one sense and as an opportunity, because if you look at the whole COVID situation, you'll wonder how can anyone use the word opportunity in this context? Anything anyone would like to say?
Ma'am, I would like to say something
Please.
regarding opportunity.
Yeah.
Uh, this can be looked at as an opportunity. How? Because usually we are so engrossed in our daily lives that we don't get time to engage in our hobbies, or we don't, a lot of times it happens that our talents lie somewhere else. But due to, studies, or because we are so busy in our job, we are unable to look into those things and, enjoy. So we can do that. Then another thing is that we don't usually get to spend quality time with our family. So
Yeah.
in that sense, at this time, almost everybody is in their houses. So, you can spend quality time. You can uh, hope to build to grow, make your bond stronger by engaging in different activities, even, playing games with each other, team games among family members. It helps to bring you closer. Otherwise also we are close only in one sense, but because everybody is so busy in their lives, I think such things, when you enjoy so much with each other, it makes you grow closer. So I think in that way it can definitely be used as an opportunity. Another thing, we can, engage in courses. There are so many online courses running these days. Then we don't get to read books because we are so busy, so we can go back to all of those things. And these days a lot of people are seen cooking also, so everybody is improving their cooking skills also, and so many other things, ma'am. So I think in that manner it can definitely be looked at as an opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. And this is one of the perspectives.
Mhm.
Do any of the men would like to contribute? Do you want to say something about opportunity, sir?
Yeah. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Initial period of about 5-10 days, it was very tough to understand how to spend 24 hours in a confined space of, say, your home. Then suddenly this lot of talent, or rather opportunity, has come up by way of this virtual platform. So we started interacting. So first started with a family get together on virtual media, then started a professional discourses on virtual media, then Rotary meetings, Rotary board meetings, and all those things has kept us now going on and on, busy throughout the day. Maybe at least I am morning and evening I am doing virtual meetings. So that's keeping me busy. That's one thing. My question to you, ma'am, is here that once this lockdown is over, 40 days, 41, whatever is over, then won't you think it is very difficult for us to go on to the street, drive to the office and spend that 8 hours in again a very align a different environment and start interacting in the same manner what we were used to do earlier?
Okay, that's a very relevant and a nice question, and also very important for how a mindset is going to be. Because with the greatest of difficulty, we have taught ourselves how to be safe. We have learned uh, the art of social distancing somehow. And once the lockdown is over, or whenever that may be, I'm not saying tomorrow, because all of us still should remember that the vaccine is very far away. It's not tomorrow. There is some time to come. And then to go back into an environment which what we saw before lockdown, in a way, we have to, in our minds now, reset the whole thing into pre-COVID times and post-COVID times. Because what actually happens is that, like, I will give you a very simple example. I was watching a movie the other day, and there was a queue. In the movie, there is a queue, okay? And guess what happened in my mind? I'm thinking, oh my God, they are so close to each other. So actually, your mindset becomes that you start worrying about what we now learned as our safety precautions. So as Dr. Prakash Gar just now said, going back into the world, we still need to exercise caution. It's not that we need to be worried, we need to be anxious, but at the same time, being cautious and being safe has to become the order of the day. We cannot be otherwise. We cannot go into crowds and say, okay, fine, I'm just back into this crowd business. No, that's going to take a little while. We may get back to our work lives. We may get back to our businesses, whatever that we are doing. But still, I think there has to be a caution that has to be a part of our nature for coming sometime. And that is a good way to look at it. Because another thing that is happening, I don't know if anyone of you experienced this, but the most common is this lockdown. In a way, a lot of people have reported that they feel as if they are locked up in a prison. It's almost as if they are in the confines of a prison. So just see the negative impact of feeling that. So here I would like to just share one interesting thing. There's this, I don't know if anyone of you have heard of this one doctor, Viktor Frankl. Okay, he was a psychiatrist, a Jewish psychiatrist during World War II times. And as you would guess, what could have happened to him? He was a Jew during World War II times, so he had to, well, he went to the camps, the Auschwitz camp, wherein all the Jews were taken during the Nazi regime. During that time, this man came up with this extraordinary theory, wherein he says that everything is common. If I say, is our situation common for everyone now? Across the globe, it's the same, isn't it? We are all in the same level of suffering, or same level of anxiety, same level of uncertainty. But at the same time, we have a choice. We have a choice wherein whether, you know, when the whole situation is the same, but it is my choice, do I allow the situation to control me, or am I free of the situation? So I can continuously sit in one place and say, oh my God, what is this COVID doing to all of us? Or I can continue to go about my life like whatever are the things around that I can still do. I'm very sure the men here also have multiple ways of doing things with regard to their work also. Because we have this thing of a very confined mindset usually. But from there, now what we need to do is we call it the growth mindset. We all have to believe that we are going to develop into something better. We all have to believe that we will learn skills that will make us grow better. The more we think about it, the more we are able to be productive. Because I'm very sure all of you are doing a lot of work, but I don't want any one of us to carry a burden in their minds that what's happening. Any questions?
Ma'am, Kaiser ma'am, you're on mute.
Yeah?
No, Kaiser Jamil ma'am is trying to talk something, but she's on mute.
Oh, Kaiser ma'am. Huh? I'll tell. I didn't see her, that's why we cannot see she's on mute.
Kiran can unmute her.
Ah,
Our host can do that.
Yeah, actually Chaitanya is the
Chaitanya
host.
can do
no
it.
problem. I will tell her.
We can do individually, not a problem.
Ma'am, do unmuted that Kaiser ma'am. Unmute that. Unmute yourself.
She's not able to.
But we are not hearing. There is on the top unmute is
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Acha.
That's all.
I,
Mm.
no, I was saying that we can discipline ourselves by giving us a timetable for, okay, morning you can water the plants, do some gardening, and then come inside, do breakfast, sit on the computer and do your homework, because I'm working from home and I'm still busy with correcting some papers and manuscripts. And also now we are applying for DST recognition. So the time has come for us to again recalculate the whole work which we have done for the last 3 years. So for me, life is very, very kind of busy. And I feel that still this time sitting at home is still not at all sufficient. So anyway, lockdown, the going and coming time is saved, because it takes 1 hour to go, 1 hour to come from my workplace to home. So the 2 hours extra I'm getting. So I feel it's kind of, not so different for me. In the beginning, I was so bored. I just can't tell you, I didn't know what to do. I just couldn't manage myself to work from home because I was getting fed up. Now, after 1 month, I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
So, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
No, that is your perspective, ma'am, because one is that you have reached that situation in life wherein maybe the flexibility is completely okay for you. You are able to still do the work. A lot of anxiety comes to people wherein they're not able to go to their regular work. And when my business is shut down, what am I? Because there are many entrepreneurs with us who are and not being able to be present there is a big challenge. It's a big challenge, and that is what a lot of people are experiencing because they are not very sure how their businesses will run even tomorrow. So this is one of the segments that I would like to actually talk about, because there are opportunities everywhere. I'm very sure that if one, as it is said, if one door is closed, there is always a window open. So I want all the people who are having this kind of a difficulty with work, please think that it is not a shut opportunity. I'm sure, shut door kind of a situation. There is an opportunity there in everything around you. I'm sure we as a Rotary community, there are brilliant brains, extraordinary minds, and wonderful hearts here. I'm sure everybody will have an idea for somebody else to tap their talent and come up with something else. So I don't want any one of you to be dejected, feeling burdened that businesses are not running. This is not going to be a forever situation. This is also important for all of us to remember. That this is not going to be forever.
No, I'm asking, is it a good thing to give ourselves a timetable, or
Of course,
just do what you like to do?
Because otherwise what will happen is that we tend to get stuck in maybe the non-essential things, the things that don't matter to us. Maybe we end up wasting time there. Or sometimes you are so work driven that you may be doing all the things and forget that you need to do things at home also. So actually having a good balance, I would still say that please do the body, mind, soul, spirit level rejuvenation. So do your exercise, study something interesting, feel good, do the feel good factor things, and of course pray to your good Lord or whatever, so that you feel good. These are all your ways to refuel yourself. End of the day, at every end of the day, you should say that, okay, I've had a good day. You should not.
Hey, Sanjay.
Thank you.
మా ఇప్పుడు మెంబర్షిప్ టోటల్ మెంబర్షిప్ ఎంత ఒకసారి నాకు చెప్పండి త్వరగా.
Any other thing that you would like to? There is one little thing, I don't know if anyone of you is experiencing. There is an increased anger that is coming to people. I don't know if anyone experiences it, but I can tell you I'm little guilty of it. How much ever you try, sometimes it happens because many things might, there are things on your mind. So if anyone is experiencing anger a lot, or you are having reactive patterns, that is reacting very quickly, please reach out to me. I'm here for you, all of you. In fact, we have a list of, I'm going to now share it with, we'll put it up as the final slide. Kiran, you can help me do it later. That we have all our counselors, you can reach out to them. I'm the one always there for you because you know me as family. We also have others. So anything like lot of anxiety, too much of anger, maybe you're feeling depressed, feeling low, do reach out, because these are things that we can work with. They're not bad things. They're just normal happenings right now. They are normal reactions to the situation around us. It is nothing abnormal. So we just need to have a little bit of help. And as I always keep saying, all Rotarians are very smart, and smart people know how to ask for help. Yeah, so I want you to do it. It doesn't matter, not just for you. See, it is your friends. Yeah, it's for you, your family, your friends, anyone, because we are here to help. We don't want any one of you to have a burden about what's happening around us. It's a difficult time all of us are going through. So reach out, message me, reach out to anyone. We are all here for you. Okay, any questions? It'll benefit the whole group if each one of you asks a general question. It doesn't have to be personal. You can ask any question.
I have a question.
Yeah, Chapin.
We have now plumber, carpenter, electricians, and so many other artisans who have to come to our house.
Mm-hmm.
They are not getting any income, and they don't see end of tunnel now. So how do you counsel them and how do you help them?
Sir, last question, last sentence I couldn't hear, sir.
How do you counsel them and how do you help them? Because we don't know how long should we keep supporting them. Okay, and we should also keep them cheerful, right?
Yeah.
So how do you go about it?
Yeah. it is a difficult thing. I think one of the first things that we have to tell them is that it's not a forever situation. Okay, they should know it's not a forever situation, because then the desperation becomes more, the hopelessness becomes more when we think that this is going to be forever. So it is more about you. And as I said, even right at the beginning, maybe a plumber also has another skill. Maybe an electrician also has another skill. Maybe something that can be worked out. We never know. And what we are doing, some of the people, what we are doing is in a safe way to do some things with them. Maybe they won't have the regular work, because as of now, the entire social situation is something we cannot really say that we will have control over it. And that is something actually, Mohan Garu, I think it's important for us as Rotarians also to believe, because we want to run and support everyone. We want to go and help everyone. But there are things like one of the greatest psychologists who, Stephen Covey, talked about something called the circle of control. You know, the only place where we have 100% control over anything in this world is only on ourselves, just us. So the second layer, the third layer, the fourth layer, somewhere around that, or the fifth or the seventh layer, is all these things which we have zero control over. Can we control COVID? We don't know. Can we control how their employability is going to be? We don't know. But we try our best to create a situation for them in the best possible way. But if we try to control this, what actually happens is that we lose control over ourselves. That is, you start getting anxious, you start getting depressed, you start getting angry. See, there is something called righteous anger. You know, I want to fight for the right of somebody. Correct, that is very true. But is it really a valid one at this juncture is the question. So we say always that, do some reality check. Is it realistic to have some expectation? Is it not? Then I think we'll be able to work with most of the things somehow, because really, I mean, we try our best. I'm sure the amount of work Rotarians are doing is unbelievable. And because of which we should be just proud and continue to do the same amount of work, but don't take every little bit and say, I want to change it. Because we are a part of a stream that we have no control over. Honestly speaking, most of it we do not have. Some parts we can. Maybe the next door person who you see every day, if you think you can spare X amount, because it should not make you also suffer. Please remember this. As they say in aircraft, I'm sure all of us have traveled. What do they talk about the oxygen mask? We have to wear it first. Unless you wear it, how will you help the other person? So take good care of yourselves too. We need to take care of ourselves, and then we are stronger to take care of many others. So this is one of the things I want all of you to remember again, because the Rotarian spirit is very strong. Everyone wants to jump and do things. We tend to extend ourselves. Yes. Right now, yes. On an average day, I think I'm also working till my day ends at maybe 11:30, 12. My day begins at 4 o'clock, trust me. So I'm working. But the whole thing is only the doables. The doables are the ones that we need to choose. So how do we make the choices? How do we prioritize? How do we understand these things? And this is one exercise that all of us can, on an everyday basis, do it also. Yeah. Does that help, sir?
Yeah. Good. Like,
Okay, I have a, madam, can I?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we know you talked about anxiety, you talked about other aspects of it. One very important aspect now, particularly during COVID lockdown and post COVID lockdown, a fear, a very strongly entrenched fear in our mind, everyone's mind,
Yeah.
that ये नहीं छूना, वो नहीं छूना, इधर नहीं जाना, उधर नहीं जाना, इससे बात नहीं करना, social distancing, all these things, they are going to be a different world after the lockdown. how to cope with that situation? I mean, what are the preparations we have to do psychologically or mentally or whatever way to adjust to those situations? No, we have to follow those situations: social distancing and not touching, washing, mask, everything. You know, that's going to be the part of our life for coming 6 to 8 months. Okay, now that 6 to 8 months, till everything becomes normal like what it was, a fear is there in our mind. How to get out of it or cope it with?
Correct. I think the starting point is now, sir. Let's not think about the tomorrow then when we go out. But I think right now, just living in the present right now, how are you managing the safety? How are we managing the safety measures? Because it's about
Yes, madam.
He's talking about the post-COVID situation,
yeah.
Yes.
post-COVID situations.
Hi Shivani, everyone is saying, sending messages. So yes, hi to everyone. So Dr. Prakash Garu just asked a very valid question that what do we do once we start going out?
Yeah.
The fears that are there, the anxieties that are there, how do we do? So one of the things that we can do is to train ourselves. The training starts today because it's about how am I looking at the whole situation? How am I looking at my everyday life today? So let me give you some examples. I've had recently some cases wherein people are wearing masks at home and sleeping. So you may understand that fear can take you to any length. But the whole point is the basic caution, the basic precautions, the basic safety measures like washing hands. And of course, there are so many wonderful messages about, knowledge sharing things about why wearing a mask helps. When you go out, you don't have to wear a mask in the house. And then how do we work with this? So as all the scientific brains understand certain things about how to deal with it. But then when there is a little bit of fear, it can spiral into a phobia. And that is what is causing a lot of distress to people, because I've seen people, I've had reports of people washing all edible things in detergents. And I'm talking about even extreme levels. So we're talking about, am I washing my hands 1,000 times in a day, or am I washing it 20 as and when I touch some new surface? So it's about the basic maintenance. So one of the clues one of the strategies I'll give you now is, you make a beautiful chart for yourself. Don't bother about all the WhatsApp and everything. No, just take the basic chart of how much when do I wash my hands? Keep track of it. So let us start with the first one, because washing hands is very important. So just monitor yourself. This self-monitoring is a very important aspect. So you see, are you washing hands unnecessarily? Are you using your sanitizer just because you fancy doing it? Or are you actually worried that the things at home also carry something that when you touch it, you're going to wash your hands again? So monitor these small things, and also see whether that also tells you whether you're being careless. Maybe there are a lot of people who are actually not doing hand washing correctly. So it gives us an idea as to where we stand today. There are a lot of people who wear a mask. I'm telling you, this is something I don't know. I've seen it too often. There is a mask and somewhere it is here like this. What purpose it is serving, we don't know. Or it is hanging around the neck. So these are the practices. When we stop, what will happen is that you understand safety. And then once the safety is in place, fear can be addressed very easily. Because once you are aware that you are safe, that I'm following on this correctly, then my unknown enemy, see right now what we have as a common unknown enemy is only the whole COVID business, right? It's almost like we call it, we're all thinking it is some monster, some demon, because we don't know, we don't see it. And it has the power to destroy. But the whole point is we will keep ourselves safe when we have ourselves very connected to the reality around us. So don't fly off into a world of fear, fly off into the unsafe world of being reckless. Because a lot of people think that, I have some ginger juice and I'm very safe. This is another thing that is happening. So we will not do all that. Let us have some reality check as to what works and what doesn't. So in a way, we should be very scientific and very based on facts. So you keep track of your own habits. The more you keep track of your own habits, make a chart and say, okay, be very honest to yourself. Okay, don't cheat yourself. When you wash your hands 10 times, you should know you have put it on your chart. Just because I didn't finish the 10 per day, don't pass yourself when you washed your hands only once. Okay, that is one. Or more often than not, now we have very compulsive behaviors coming up. People going on washing hands, people changing masks all the time, people cleaning the house with Dettol water. There is no end to it. Let's not do that, because your house is safe as long as you have not gone out and brought everything into the house. Wash your feet. See, let's get back to the old ways of living. What did our ancestors do? Even I think growing up, we also followed the same. Even now we leave our footwear outside. Leave your footwear outside, wash your feet, wash your hands, leave your mask outside, come inside, right? Depending on how you're disposing, whether it is a disposable mask or otherwise. Follow all that, come inside, you're fine. You're going to be quite COVID free, trust me. And then when you bring all your things inside, just follow the same sanitizing process. And this is what all of us need to remember, rather than to going on into the same mode of, as I said, washing tur dal with detergent, not done. Please don't do it. That is taking things to one level. So we need to keep track of ourselves. And yes, there is a lot of goodness in maintaining social distance for some time to come. So no more handshaking, no more hugging, all these things can stay for some time. Let us be very, how we were in olden days. It's going to keep us safe. I think the entire world is going to practice the same. So we'll stay with that. Did that answer, sir?
Yeah, definitely it has answered me. Only fear element, I said that when we are in the outside in social circles, any etiquette is to be followed there. As you said, no second and social distancing, that's all.
No, same thing. And also don't feel shy when people invite you to unnecessary functions. You don't have to be going there. It's okay to send all the e-wishes. It's okay. We are doing it. People accept it. So don't, I think we need to avoid crowds for some time to come, and we need to practice that. And don't be apologetic about practicing that. That will keep not just you, it keeps the community safe. So feel good about following the protocols. Yeah. And one of the things I thought I should talk about is the ones who have young children. I don't know how many of you have young children or grandchildren. What is happening with them? Have you seen your children having a good time at home? What is happening with the children?
We are enjoying with them.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to play with them. Really, I am 100% enjoying. And another request is, Another question is the people who are sitting 1 hour, I am feeling bored. But nowadays, this is a completely whole day boring. For those people who are feeling that, what's your advice, Vasuprada?
Sir, all these are very age relevant also. But one of the things is we need to find things that we stopped doing. Like, if I ask you a question, sir, మీరు చిన్నప్పుడు స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు మీకు ఏమి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉండేది సార్?
ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉండేది కాదు.
ఏదో అలా స్కూల్ చదువు కాదు, మిగతా ఏం చేసేవాళ్ళు?
చాలా ఉండేవి.
వాటిల్లో ఇప్పుడు ఏమైనా చేస్తున్నారా మీరు?
నేను అప్పుడు లేని ఇప్పుడు చేస్తున్నాను.
See, that's why you are looking happy. That's the
exactly because at that time I didn't have the children, and also I didn't look after my children, Tansen and Richa. Actually, I didn't look after them really. Actually, when I just enjoying with these small kids, the children, grandchildren, what I lost, I didn't give to those children. ఆ పిల్లలకి నేను ఏమి ఇవ్వలేదు, ఇవాళ నాకు గుర్తుకొస్తుంది, నిజంగా చెప్తున్నాను. ఓన్లీ థింగ్ ఈజ్, and what is my career, what is my future, this is the only thinking I got that. But when I came to see back what I lost, what I didn't give to my children, but they are happy, but a realization has come to me what I have not given to my children.
In a way, it's a holistic way of looking at it, sir. ఇప్పుడు ఏమంటే right now is the time to really, one, to remember our talents. Some of us used to sing and forgot how to sing right now, in the sense we didn't have time to do it. Maybe some of us were writing something but never had an opportunity to continue that hobby. So my suggestion is, boredom happens because actually you're looking for some activity and interest. So what are the things that interest you? Whether you want to learn about the world, maybe just people around you who see, we got used to this life was very fast moving. Suddenly we are very want to stop, and we are signal, not knowing when we will move. So we are on the red signal right now. So one way to do is, one is time pass karna. What are all the unproductive activities? That is completely fine, allowed. Next, there are also some very good talents of yours that you can actually develop now. This is the best opportunity to do. Maybe asalu your spouse must have been singing and you forgot, you have never asked him or her to sing to you in a long time. Maybe your child actually can do some interesting activity which you have not actually given much thought to. And then, yes, letting the world know also, it's a good habit to write about our daily activities. Once upon a time, I think the reason we have a good amount of history with us, sir, is because somebody decided to talk about the life they were leading. Because they did it, we have so many historical records. Our records also have to be there. So people should invest time in just talking about, writing about themselves, writing about their own life, right? Because these are very beautiful things which we will cherish. Maybe our children will cherish, our grandchildren will cherish. So invest in that, invest in yourself, and to engage others about what you have done in your own life. It's very possible that most of the children, see, when we are dealing with some people, when I ask simple questions, like so many times with parents, when I say, what are your children's interests? Do you know how many times the parents, there is a blank? They do not know. So this is the right time to know it. Maybe this is the right time for the parents, children also to know what the parents like. And then, yes, it's a fantastic idea to, even if you have help at home, give some time off to them and go into the kitchen and start doing things, because there is no more better thing in this world than to work with what nourishes you. So whether it is your body that gets nourished and also soul nourishment. So reading good books, reading good literature, please not all these horrible WhatsApp forwards. You try and avoid as much as possible all the nonsense that comes on WhatsApp, unless you are very selective what you're doing, because you think of yourself as the storehouse of best information. So we will put a sieve, we'll filter everything and take in what comes the best, and also give to the world the same thing, the good ones. So supposing I get angry, I'm not going to shout at somebody. I will think, I will wait, and then I will say it in the way which can be actually understood by the other person. So that is how we need to work with managing our own emotions. And yeah, this is the time to develop yourself. I would say both them right now is an opportunity for self-development. Do you have the time to think about what are you? So many times when we ask a question, where are you in your life? Especially this is very applicable to all the women. So many times when a question like this is asked, where are you in your life? In fact, men also, I don't want to be gender biased here. Where are you in your life? They really do not know, because they are not present. Their job is present. Their some other thing is present. Their working is present. Their everything is present, but their own soul content, their themselves, what really matters to them, is missing from their lives. So this is the time to analyze that. And as even DG sir said, see that one understanding that yes, I'm actually now enjoying what I couldn't enjoy earlier. That makes all the difference. So I'm very sure all of us also will have these kind of discoveries about our own selves if we go on this self-discovery path and also self-development path. Because maybe I'm too emotional, maybe I'm very less emotional, maybe I'm too intellectual, maybe I'm not bothered about knowing interesting things. We do not know. Many things about us are mysteries to us. So we can go on a nice self-discovery journey, find out about ourselves, find out about our loved ones. I'm sure we'll be very busy with it. Any questions? Any other observations?
Ma'am, I think Reverend Usha Rani wanted to ask you a question.
Beg your pardon?
Ma'am, Usha Rani garu ఒకసారి unmute చేయండి. You're on mute.
Unmute లోనే
Yeah. మళ్ళీ మ్యూట్ చేశారు.
మళ్ళీ మ్యూట్ చేస్తా.
Now okay?
Yes, yes.
Now am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's nice seeing you and talking to you all also. And we are happy that your self-discovery concept I am now practicing. And also that with this, what are the skills, whatever the related skills are, there we are trying to put it out, like going to the kitchen very often and trying new innovative ideas, innovative things, daily practicing so many other things, trying to do something new, innovative dishes for self and also for keeping exhibitions. And moreover about our written talents, writing skills also, I was now I am able to nurture a little. I used to write songs and small dramas in my college life as well as professional life. Now I'm again taking it out, trying to write some songs on Corona also.
Very nice.
And that's a very good thing. And on the situations, based on the situations, I'm trying to do something, and I will see that at least one or two I will put it out. And same way, like talking to different friends whom we missed a lot all these years, and then trying to share our feelings, and a lot of time in this video chats and other things also going on, so that we can refresh our things. As you told some tips, surely for the mental, actually the topic today is about our mental caliber and our mental health. So naturally for mental health, we need some good friends to chat, and that also I'm trying to elicit happiness and gaining some knowledge as well as some more ideas how to spend time in a good way, and moreover about these Zoom meetings also are giving lot of a lot of insight how we can improve upon sharing our views as well as taking inputs from others also the same way. And it's a good time to meet all our Rotary friends all over the country as well as world. And today your tips about that self-discovery, and first time we are hearing you on online, and it's a good opportunity. Though we had small chats, it's a long chat. I'm very happy being with you all people and learning a lot as well as sharing my feelings with you all. Thank you a lot for the real tips for the mental health and about self-discovery and nurturing our talents. That's a very good point, which I was trying to see. And my writing skills, I'm surely trying to see that writing about myself or about some topics related to the situation. Thank you all. Thank you also giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. So,
Thank you, Vasu. It was very interesting hearing you.
yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot of things, and I'm so glad that I could budge
Yeah, of
into your
course.
meeting and put
Yeah.
hi everybody. Hi
Yeah,
everybody.
nice, my even Kaiser. I'm also following your that scientific that chatting WhatsApp programs.
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
happy.
yeah. I really love to read what's happening, the mode of action of COVID. You know
Yeah,
what it does when it gets into yourself. So the
yeah,
risk factors, what happens in your body. This is what I'm reading a lot about what it does to your body,
yeah, yeah.
and
Nice.
the prevalence. Why only by touching hands and you're getting into the mouth? Is it there
Correct.
in the air? Is it there still in the air or what? Very puzzling thing, it is sweeping the world like anything. And
Yeah, I
we
know.
don't know,
No, this is
Nice,
don't know
nice.
from
We are
one
sharing
to
together.
another how it is traveling. So that is still puzzling to me. I'm working on trying to find solutions to its contamination from one person to the other, and also
Yeah,
what happens in the body, where it attacks, and how it goes to destroy our organs and all that. I am
yeah.
interested in doing lot of that
Nice.
kind of work and
Yeah,
trying to read that.
yes. Yes, nice. Being scientists, we have that special aptitude of knowing more about this COVID and its ramification. That's
Yeah,
nice. Your
the
science articles also are
yeah,
good.
right,
Good
right.
help. Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
such a
Nice to see
pandemic.
you and talk to you.
yeah.
It has come so suddenly. I hope it goes suddenly.
Yeah, nice it is. That program is also good.
Okay,
Hi,
Usha.
hello. Is Dr. Vasuprada is here?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Hi, good evening, Dr. Vasuprada. How are you? I'm friend of Nagashri Neerukonda, by the way.
Oh, hi, hi.
I'm Dr. Sri Dasari. I'm a business psychologist. Yeah, sorry for the delay. I joined very late because of I have my meeting scheduled before. However, I came up with 2 questions I would like to ask you. Hope you not mind.
Sure.
Yeah, like see, what is your take on the current situation, which was very unexpected? And I know that it is inevitable situation. So like most of the people, this will pan out after how do we think as being a psychologist, we will pan out after this lockdown lifted? What do you think so? Like
We means us or humanity in general? What is that?
Yeah, in general, us.
Yeah, humanity in general, as I was mentioning before, to a very large extent, we will be the pre-COVID group and the post-COVID humanity, because there will be very strong memories of going through this. It is to be considered as an extended period of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
by no way. How much ever we are trying to do very many things, but somewhere it is like there is a threat hanging over. So
Yep.
we are like soldiers on the at the borders.
Yeah.
We are almost like we are in the line of fire. So there is a constant state of hyper alertness. I'm just talking to you because you're from the same field. So we
Yep.
talk about hyper alert and things like that. So it is about, but do all the soldiers actually succumb to this?
Yeah.
They continue to fight forever. So
Yep.
it's up to us to survive through this period in the right, not survive, actually go through this in the most positive way, learn skills, because human evolution is all about when a crisis has come to humanity, humans knew how to deal with that.
Dealt with the
And they always came out better. So what I see for humanity is that we will actually improve as human beings.
Yeah.
Our human consciousness is going to be better because somehow we are going to be more sensitive to the other person. We are going to be more sensitive about our environment. I mean, when I'm talking about environment, it's not just the trees and oxygen levels. I'm talking about the human environment. So we're actually going to be much more sensitive as human beings. Because somehow we became very robotic. We were leading very mechanical lives. And this has somehow now given us the challenge to humanize ourselves more.
Right.
Post this, we are going to be actually more humans.
Yeah. I'm satisfied with the answer. But in real practice, see, where from past few days, even I am also attending a few stress management and all this mental well-being with NHS UK. I came to know that most of them, they are suggesting me not to get involved with any news channels, or not to get involved with when we do have, see, obviously we are just human beings, and the levels what we are controlling, the anxiety levels is sometimes are not constant, you see. As per our psychology also, stress management is one of the challenging factor in this delicate situation. So do you really think the best way to get rid of is like to ignoring few things like this?
It's not about ignoring. I would say making wise choices.
Yeah.
You should be very conscious as to where you get your news from, how often do you get it. So you are going to actually be very conscious of the quality of the substance that you are getting. You're not going to take trash from everywhere and get worked up, because we are only humans, right? I'm bound to be affected. I'm bound to react to it. So we have to be very careful about what are these sources from where it is coming. And also, I don't have to do it 100 times a day.
Yes, you're right.
100 times a day is what most of the people are doing. Trust me, they're all the time watching. They are 24/7 with the news channel on. And that is what is destroying, because you are putting yourself under the constant pressure of anticipating something wrong. And that is not how we should be. So that takes care, that will not give you this constant anxiety, constant stress, because you just get information. Look at it as information. Don't look at it as a big threat. Nothing is going to come to us right now.
And should not get panic about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was very nice to see you.
Thank you. Kiran, anyone else? Anything that is happening? Do you see any hands?
No, ma'am. Nobody has.
Okay. So, DJ sir, would you like to say some closing remarks or anything? Or any one of you have any questions? This is again something that I'm telling you. Whether it is for yourself, whether it is for your family, whether it is for your friends, we are here to help you. And we are a team of counselors. As I'm again repeating myself, we are working with the Telangana police right now to deal with the domestic violence situation. So be proud because it is going under the flag of Rotary Kshemam for safe and happy communities. We have partnered with the Telangana Police. So a set of counselors who are there, who are on the panel to reach out to be reached out to whenever there's an incidence of domestic violence happening in the state of Telangana. And the best part is we have counselors who are not from Telangana, who are actually right now practicing in Chennai, Pune and Mumbai. And they are good enough to say, for the sake of Rotary, we are doing all our work voluntarily. And then this is what now has put them again in the fold of Telangana Police. So we have huge number of languages which are being offered for counseling. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Good evening, all torch bearers, many of us, the presidents and secretaries. And it's an opportunity to just a little talk with you because of for the past March 25th onwards, every day 4 or 5 virtual meetings are going on. Some days it is 10 also. And only just a few moments I will take. This type of discussions, whatever the doubts we have, if you clarify, क्या कहते हैं ఏమంట మనసులో ఉన్నటువంటి భారం కాస్త పోతుంది అని చెప్పని ఆలోచన ఉంటుంది. It's a very helpful thing to all of us. As a governor, I want to appreciate one of this endowment contributor, Dr. Venu Babu from Greater Hyderabad. Venu, so he has paid his second part of $8,500. Like that, why I appreciate you is because he has done is at this time, at the point of this time, to contribute this much time is also appreciable. That's why I just say congratulations to Venu Babu. He has contributed his second part of endowment. Like that, every president and secretary and my regional secretary is also there. I request every month 2 meetings or physical meetings has to be. The same situation has come. It is a wonderful one. Yesterday, one of my batchmates, district governors are saying, in the coming years, we don't have any physical meetings. So the budget, economical budget of Rotary International is also decreasing. Why? Because next year, if anybody wants to go for RIPR, so the Rotary International will not be funded. If the district is interested to their part, they will invite their expenses only, not a part of Rotary International. Like these pets and sets and club assemblies and everything is going on online. Oh, that's why the budget of Rotary International also will decrease. But I don't know. I am fearing about that. The physical appearance, the bondage among each and everyone, what will happen, I don't know. But this is a wonderful one because my meetings, so only 2 people are coming, me and secretary, or 10 people only. This is the complaint actually I'm getting. But now in every club assembly, club meeting, I'm just attending, at least 15, 20 are there. Some days 100% of the members of that club are also participating. But this COVID, unfortunately, it is a very natural calamity to ours, but it is a little part of shining to the Rotarians also. My single request is God should not harm to the Rotarian families. Up to now, we didn't hear any bad news of our Rotary families. The same thing will be continued in future also. That is why social distance is the most important, because the Rotary leaders, national, international leaders are seeing the photographs of that too from India. They are telling, be careful, because why they are going very near to this hand to hand. And also, my humble request to all of you is, we are only providers, we are not at all distributors. That's why by keeping that in mind, I am very happy to just meet in this virtual meeting. All of you, our membership is now 3,684. My humble request to all my torchbearer presidents and secretary and the senior Rotarians of each club, the same has to be maintained, and also some new members has to be added to at least to become 4,000. That is our dream, I think. And don't retrieve or terminate or just delete any of the Rotarians until 30th of June. This is a sincere request to me. And also make a possibility of having new clubs also, because my batchmates who are in the whole India, already they are just making 30 new clubs has come in these 2 months or 3 months. Why don't we, because there are the possibilities of extending the extension of our clubs also, think about that positively. Why this governor is asking extension and contribution Rotary Foundation, everything going on, but my simple request, my single request, my heartful request to all of you, contribute something. Every Rotarian, as our club is doing some projects, there we just something for the Rotary Foundation also. It will because already we got a disaster management fund 25,000. We are providing PPEs, masks, sanitizers, three regions also. And also we are going to have the proposal to go for global grants also about this COVID also. Just think of that one and give some sort of inputs to prepare for a global grant from 3 regions, maybe 6 or 7 global grants. For that, I want your inputs also. So thank you so much for participating. Let me have a chance to participate in this sermon, that Karthik and Rizwan sir, and thank you very much, Vasuprada. Everyone, just thank you so much. Very, very thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Vasuprada, there is one more question from Rotarian Venkatram Reddy. Venkatram Reddy, adagandi.
Unmute yourself, Venkatram Reddy garu. Yeah.
Yeah, and chala, it was nice, Vasuprada garu, listening to you and DG garu. It was enlightening. Thank you. We all again, literally our hostel days again we are doing now, doing all the houseworks and everything. What all we used to do as students in during our engineering days, we are doing now. It's nice for a change. I hope everything comes out in good.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, Andy. All the best. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
there is one more question in the comments.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking how to calm down when we feel angry. We didn't have name.
One important thing is, I will also speak to them separately, but I would like to answer it now that the question has come. See, there are many reasons for anger. One of them is, one typical thing is when I feel that I have no way out, I can't deal with it properly, then I tend to get angry. It's most likely that during this time, that is what is happening, because somehow you feel that you're not in control of something. So getting angry is one of them. But if it is a continuous pattern, maybe if you had anger issues before, that means that it needs to be looked at to see what are the triggers, why are you getting angry? Is it your coping mechanism? Or, is it that you are just reactive? So we'll have to work with it. One thing you have to see, if it is a person making you angry, see why it is happening. If it is a situation, also we need to see why. Because right now, if the situation is making you angry, I think we should not get angry, because the situation is the same practically for all of us. So it is important to say that, okay, all of us are going through the same, we are in the same boat. So, and is your anger helping you? This is a question you can ask yourself. So you are getting angry, you've done something, you've said something. So is it helping you? So the moment you start assessing how much of help your anger has done to you, then you start actually calming down to a very large extent, because you realize that most of the time anger makes things worse. Something has gone wrong after an exhibition of anger or even feeling angry. So that is one of the things. And also to divert yourself. Of course, if you start thinking about something nice, maybe try to see the other's perspective. There are multiple ways. Anger management is a huge thing. I'm just trying to just give you small tips here. But if you need further help, I'm always here. Please reach out. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question is from Rotarian Sita.
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I know. I just, in fact, it was very nice listening to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
One thing I wanted to say was actually a lot of people whom I know, they're actually forced to stay at home and they're really enjoying it actually. They think this is the first time we're getting a chance in our lifetime to stay home and do what we want. And then they don't have to rush to the office and all that. So some of them are really enjoying it. That's what. So I thought there's an other side of
there is the other side of it. That's in fact, we started off with that part wherein, yes, you are getting an opportunity to actually explore the things that you would have wanted to do. Maybe actually sit back and relax also. So
I know.
one part of it. And how many times children are now feeling so happy to see their parents at home. This is
that's true.
And very fun that somehow parents are available. Yeah.
And another thing I feel is like more for us, I think the stress is not much actually to compare to people of the lower income group where they don't have enough food. They're not, because their wages have stopped coming. And I think they are the people who are really facing the problem. Like, I think we are generally kind of at home. Okay, we know we have sufficiently, everything is there. And I know we know what to do with ourselves. So I feel it's them which we need more counseling. I don't know if it's them.
We try to do that is where I was telling you, because there's also an increase in domestic violence, not just in the lower economic groups, because strangely domestic violence has never been restricted to lower socioeconomic groups. It is across the groups. But it has increased now because people are put together in the same houses 24/7. So earlier they would escape in the name of work, in the name of socializing, or whatever was the reason. But now you're in front of the people who are your triggers. So maybe that's one of the reasons violence has increased. And also the people who have some addictions, now obviously there is no scope to take care of those addictions. So anger also comes as a part of it. So that is one of the reasons that domestic violence has increased. And as I was mentioning, I can proudly say that our counselors who are volunteering in the name of Rotary are a part of the Telangana Police Voluntary Psychologist Panel, so, to deal with the domestic violence. So that I think is one of the top things. And I want DG sir to acknowledge this, because this is the first time that non-Rotarians are participating in a Rotary initiative and working with some in a crisis point at this level in the part of mental health, because our Rotary Kshemam concept has not happened globally. Only Rotary action groups called for mental health were being done in different parts of the world, but ours has been an ongoing project for so long. So thank you, sir.
I know, that's great work.
So we are reaching out. So we'll post all the numbers, because we can, the clubs are welcome to invite or to use the availability of psychologists for any intervention that you plan, whether you can have a Zoom meeting for students, you can have anything. So think about it, because we have a long way to go, and even kids are having a lot of difficulty right now, because initially it's like fun time, but suddenly they're also afraid that what's going to happen to their exams. And the people who are waiting to write some competitive exams are very worried. So children who are preparing for NEET and MCET and all that, they're very worried what future holds for them. So it's important for them to be also counseled that it's okay. I mean, the government is taking steps, and they're not the only ones. It is happening as a part of the stream, as I said. So we need to also support the student population right now. They are actually going through a lot of anxiety right now, because they think, what are we going to do next? And the people who are planning to go abroad, all these, the turning points in career parts.
Yeah, because they don't know what's out. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Nice talking to you.
Thank you for being here. Yeah.
One more section, madam, which is very vulnerable today, is the students who just passed out, the 4th year, they're coming out. All those students who got placement in campus selections and all, 90% of their placements have been cancelled. They are at a point where I don't know what to do with them, because the recruitment will only happen next year. So this year students are in a, I don't know how those students to be dealt with, because you all can help them. It's going to be a very difficult time for them. It is a batch which is very unfortunate as I feel it, because
Sir, one important thing is, more right now, it's not like it is somebody the chosen one to suffer. I think basically a lot of things are happening in the same way. So those children who are right now, okay, placements got cancelled, but it's very possible that they will actually find something which is more sensible, because usually when you see all these placements, they just join something very quickly. We all know about campus placements, right? And then after a while, they anyway start planning to do something else later. Yes or no?
yeah.
To a very large extent, it happens. So this small hiatus, this small gap that has come now, doesn't have to be looked at as if it is a permanent damage to them. No, in a way, maybe this is what is required for them also, again, to learn the skill of being more family friendly, because most of them have forgotten how to be with their families, honestly. And also maybe, as I said, to become more sensitive as human beings, and also work with their own talents. Lot of students who are extremely talented have left behind everything in the name of academics.
But this is what is exactly my point. They are the people who need to be counseled and put them in a right track, because lot of talent lies there, you know. So much of innovation will come out of it.
You organize, sir, we'll take care of it. अगर आप कुछ करेंगे तो हम तो साथ में हैं. We are there.
Thank you.
So we can take care of it. We'll do many things for them. Something which talks about the career opportunities, or because see, they are always in the same mindset that if placement doesn't happen now, life is over. That is not true. That will never be the truth, because it is just a small gap. As I was saying, please carry this visual for everyone that we are stopping at a red signal, at a signal with a red light. So we're just waiting. That's it. It doesn't mean that we have stopped forever. We are waiting for the clearance to happen. So once that happens, we are back on track, right? We are going to do everything as it is, maybe at a slower pace. If we were going at 100 miles per hour, now we start going at 40 miles per hour, which is actually a safer one for all humanity. So we will learn these new skills that we have forgotten. How to be safe, how to be cautious, how to be slow, all these things, yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Ma'am, if you
Thank
small
you.
question.
Vasu.
One small question.
Yeah, Chappan, sir.
Thank you, Kiran, and thank you, Vasu.
Yeah, Subbarao, please go ahead.
Yeah. One small question, madam.
Sure.
It's not actually not directly related to COVID situation.
Yeah.
A general question I am asking,
Please.
or a general suggestion. Some people will be naturally having more anxiety in
Yes.
their lifestyle. So can you help them out by giving some suggestions? Because this anxiety is increasing day by day in the society,
Yes.
irrespective of the age.
Yes.
So if you can throw some light on it, of course, whether it is COVID or not COVID, in general, people are having anxious nature. Because of that, there is a lot of harm happening without their knowledge. So,
Yes.
so if you can throw some light, maybe some few tips how to manage. It need not be exhaustive, but yes, a little insight.
We'll do just small things. We'll also see how these anxiety is a habit, sir, to a very large extent, and that is a habit. And today, when people are experiencing more anxiety, it clearly shows that they had some anxiety before. Things have gotten exaggerated now. So
Okay.
there is more anxiety coming now. But usually the tendency for anxiety is, as you said, as a part of tendency is, let us say, we are also getting trained how to be anxious in a way. Life is making, is training us every day how to be anxious. It's like, if you do this at this time, it is okay. If you do it 5 minutes later, it is not okay. So we are under pressure. So, and it starts with even a small child who goes to school, and it's like tomorrow morning the assignment has to be given. So the child is going to be thinking, the parent is going to be thinking. So we are constantly in this whole thing of time-driven behavior. And that brings a lot of anxiety to some people, not everyone. Some people think, there are some people who claim, I work the best under pressure. But it does its own damage. Ideally speaking, all of us should slow down, because I am sure everybody has the same 24 hours and everybody has the ability to deliver something, and we should just realize our own potential correctly. Anxiety comes when we don't know ourselves, and also we are assessing the situation wrongly. More often than not, we assess the situation wrongly. Like, for instance, I'm going on the road. If I develop that anxiety about an accident, let us say, every time any vehicle is even 100 meters away, I start sweating because I believe it is going to come and hit me. Yes,
Yes.
that is how an anxious person looks at life. And how many times has that accident happened to this person? In fact, it will be zero. It has not happened, but in my mind, I always believe it is going to happen. So anxiety is about things likely to not happen correctly, things likely to go wrong, or any of those. So one of the ways that we work with, especially when it goes beyond one anxiety and becomes a kind of a phobia, you have extreme amount of fear, anxiety, fear, phobia, these are all levels. So what we usually start with is, I think everyone says, calm down, take a deep breath. There's a lot of science behind that deep breath. So deep breathing and thinking about something is something that we can, even right now, I can tell you how to do it. So we actually follow the model of 4, 7, and 8. The breathing calms down fully. So the 4 is to the count of 4. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. I inhale. So we can do that. Do you all want to do it with me now?
Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So we do it as, okay, to the count of 4, you are inhaling. Just take in the breath. To the count of 4, I will do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold the breath till I count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now start exhaling slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So when you do this, actually there is a lot of science in this, because I don't know if any one of you has any breathing difficulty ever, like asthma. Doctors here will know. When asthma is about breathlessness, where they cannot take breath, right? Eyes muscle, you cannot breathe. So what do you think is happening in that? Can anyone explain what is happening? Not the doctors, please. We always think it is a difficulty in taking breath. Asthma, we always think it is.
Yeah.
When we are anxious also, we can take a breath. Yes?
Yes.
Our breathing increases. Somehow we feel breathless. You are starting to sweat. Everything happens. The thing is, that is because our lungs are already filled with air. We didn't breathe out enough. So I'm feeling breathless because I'm trying to, if my bucket is 80% full, I want to fill it 100%. Is it possible?
No.
So that's the reason what we have to do is we have to get into the habit of breathing out fully. And when you do this breathing out fully, anxiety comes down automatically. Because anxiety is related to breathlessness. And when you start working with your breath correctly, anxiety will not happen. It is like I put a clamp on my lips and say, I want to talk. So when you have a very nice breathing pattern, so pranayama is one, but this is also another of the meditative practices where the out breath is the longest, so that you feel very relaxed. If you continue to do the same 4, 7, 8, every single time there is a thought coming which is scaring you, which is worrying you, which is making you anxious. Do this 10 times. And after the 10th time, trust me, your anxiety is not going to be with you. So it is a way to calm yourself down. And another thing that we can do is, I can do a quick thing if everyone is interested. We call it visualization exercise. So right now, see, all of us are in the houses. We want to go out, experience the world, or we want to do some things. We are not able to do it. So maybe that is causing me anger, anxiety, everything, right? So when you're feeling actually not so good, you can close your eyes and very nicely, I can take you on a nice journey. You want to go with me on a journey? Okay. Kiran, do we have the time?
Yeah, ma'am, it's up to you.
Okay. So I'll just do a small visualization exercise with you. Okay. So I want all of you to close your eyes and take nice long breaths. Take in deeply, but breathe out more. Okay. Remember the 4, 7, 8. So do nice breathing. And while you're doing it, if you have seen children breathing, they breathe to their tummies. Their bellies go up and down, not the chest. So I want the breath to go right inside and do happy, nice breathing. Now I want you to just listen to what I am saying and visualize what is coming into your mind. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. Yes. Now you're stepping out of your house. And where are you going? You're going into one beautiful green, lovely lawn. And as you're walking, your feet are bare. You're not wearing chappal, so your feet are able to feel everything. The nice, crispy lawn, the nice droplets of dew on that. And you're feeling it nice because it's summer and you're saying, oh my God, where is dew? Then you say, oh, I think somebody watered it. And then you're walking and then you start smelling some beautiful flowers. And I want you to be conscious of what flowers you are smelling now. What are the kind of flowers that you're smelling? And as you're walking, you actually start feeling a nice breeze that is coming. Cool, nice breeze. And then you look around and far ahead you see a beautiful line of green trees. Lovely green trees. And suddenly out of the trees, so many birds fly out. And you're wondering, oh my God, I never knew. So many wonderful birds. How come? They're not even the same species. Oh, there are some parrots. Oh, there are so many sparrows. Oh, lovely, beautiful. And then suddenly you realize that actually you're walking on right near some flower beds and you look down. And you see beautiful butterflies on these wonderful, lovely, small flowers that are there. You say, oh, where did this butterfly come from? And now you notice what is the pattern of the butterfly? What colors does it have? And you want to go and touch it, just like how you did as a child. that you run behind that butterfly and try to hold it. And then suddenly it flies away and you say, oh, it's okay, I will get my butterflies again. So you start walking and then you feel the sun rising more and more. And then you feel the warmth of it and you say, oh, I'm so happy to feel the sunlight. This is what I've been wanting to feel, the beautiful sunlight on me. It's giving me all the warmth. I'm feeling so nice. And then while you're there, suddenly you realize somebody has come to stand next to you. Somebody you really like a lot. You say, oh, wow, it's so nice to see you here. And then it can be your wife, your husband, your friend, your best friend, anyone. And then slowly in this walk, you bring along your little children. It can be grandchildren, your friends. And then you're saying hi, and suddenly you find another group of people. And you're talking to them, and you're feeling so free, and you're feeling so good. And you say, wow, this is so nice. I like this. And then you start again breathing beautifully. And you're feeling so relaxed, you feel energized. You feel all the warmth of the sun going into your body. You feel the beautiful breeze giving you all the oxygen that you need. You're able to feel the lovely pebbles, the grass, everything on your feet. You know that you are in a secure place with all your loved ones safe, your friends, your family. Everybody is smiling. There is so much of joy, so much of happiness that you feel very contented. With this image in mind, continue to feel all that you want to feel. Everything that, if you're touching somebody, feel that. If you're holding somebody, feel that. Feel your feet. Feel the warmth of the sun. Feel the beautiful breeze all over your body. You feel your hair moving. For women, of course, the hair will move. So everything is happening. And then you're so happy. You feel so free. You feel so energized. There is so much of energy. And you say, wow, I'm feeling like my mobile when it is charged. I have 100% battery now. So with that, we express our gratitude to the world around us. We say thank you for giving us everything. Thank you that I'm in this wonderful place with all my loved ones. And then now, you put your hands on your eyes. Continue to breathe slowly. And then slowly open your eyes. How was it, sir?
Wonderful. Beautiful.
Was it nice?
Very nice.
So this is a part of the visualization exercises that we can do, which actually energize us and which will take us to any kind of anxiety. When you are feeling anxious, go into your nice, quiet place and try to visualize. This can be done even if you are waiting for an interview or some call or anything. You know, it's about where do we take ourselves. If we are in a very worried place, we continue to be worried. But if we continue to say that I'm actually feeling safe and secure, I'm feeling energized, we will continue to do that.
Is it not that we are giving time to our own self? Is it not that we are giving time to our own self? We forget to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe that is what the reason for all these anxiety and worry and everything.
Yes, it is true. Let me also confess. The other day, my daughter finally asked me. She said, "Amma, I've never seen you have a leisurely bath. Why do you always come running out, running in?" And I realized till she pointed out, it didn't even register in my mind that that's what I do. So I said, "Oh my God, this is such bad habits." And yeah, that is where I think doing these wonderful things just give us that little time and say, yes, we connect with ourselves. Just it's about, yes, the butterfly colors that you see are different from what I see. The flowers that you smell will be different from what I smell, right? Everything is so personal, but then that is the key to making us happy. So we can do this.
Thank you.
However, is that enough? I can't hear him.
He's on mute.
He's on mute. And
I think
We had a great experience.
Vishwanji, I can't hear.
Kiran, hi. Thank you.
Yeah, just a minute, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much. I request Rotarian Rizwan Garu. Is there?
Yeah. He was here just now.
Okay. Rotarian Rizwan, I request you to propose a vote of thanks, sir.
Yeah, on behalf of the district 3150 and the district governor, Greater Hyderabad, Rotarian Kiran Tota, and thanks a lot to Dr. Vasuprada for giving her invaluable inputs on how to cope with the anxiety and other related issues during the lockdown period. We hope to have one more session sometime in the month of May, because I think we will conduct first for the district Telangana and Andhra regions, then we'll come back to the city. Thank you very much to all the participants, and thank you very much, everybody. Stay healthy and safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I'm always very happy to be with my dear Rotarians, always. And thank you, Kiran, for all the support.
Thank you.
Thanks to each one of you, because unless you talk, I will not be able to say much. So I'm very, very happy for all that you have participated. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, DG Garu, and thank you all for joining the meeting.
DG Garu has been patiently
Thank you.
the whole session. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All of you can reach out to me. Anything required, I'm always here. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, Vasu. Thank you, DG Garu. Thank you, Kiran.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice talk we had. Very good. After a long time we met.
Thank you. Nice seeing you all. Bye-bye.
At least now our two clubs joined,
Bye.
and very,
Yes.
very happy to see you today.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.